नमस्ते एवरीवन। पॉडकास्ट सीरीज के एपिसोड 2 में आप सबका स्वागत है। वेलकम सुमित।
Thank you, Lalit, for having me here. It's such a wonderful thing to do. Growing up, I was a kid who was always drawn to computers.
ठीक है, आपने गोल्डमैन में काम किया, बट ये प्रोफेशनली इसने आपको कैसे शेप अप किया? है क्या ये LLM?
LLM is nothing but large language model. If you are trying to learn about AI, what is AI? Why AI is used? Where AI is used? How AI is used?
There are those surprising uses of LLMs.
Let me break down how large language models are built. In a way, they're very fascinating. So the interesting part is making them more powerful. Like within less time, they are getting to know, they are able to analyze more about the data. These large language models are trained on vast amount of data.
जो आज हमारे गेस्ट हैं इज वेरी यंग एंड टैलेंटेड। ये जो पॉडकास्ट होने वाला है इसमें हम ज्यादातर कोशिश करेंगे जेन एआई एंड LLMs के बारे में बात करने की। सो आइए तो जो आज हमारे गेस्ट हैं सुमित एटिपल्ली, उनका स्वागत करते हैं। वेलकम सुमित, थैंक यू सो मच इस इनवाइट को एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए।
Thank you, Lalit, for having me here. It's such a wonderful thing to do. We know each other for a long time. It will be some interesting podcast for viewers. We will be discussing about the Gen AI. Growing up, I was a kid who was always drawn to computers. After completing my schooling and my thing, I joined engineering in Hyderabad in my fourth year of my engineering. So that's where the spark happened. I was more interested into analytics and machine learning part. So I joined a startup where I joined as a Python engineer.
आपने कुछ फ्रीलांसिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स बाद में भी उठाए आफ्टर दिस, मे बी 2020-21 में एक दो आपने अपना एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी भी शुरू करी थी। सो ये जो आपने स्टार्टअप्स में काम किया, सो ये वर्किंग विद दीज स्टार्टअप्स, इसने आपको मोटिवेट किया या फिर इंटरेस्ट पहले से था या फिर कुछ अपना करना था, क्या था?
पहले से ही था मेरे को कुछ अपना करना है, लेकिन एक्सपीरियंस नहीं था कैसे करना है, क्या करना है। Then I started working on multiple products by yourself. You will be only thinking in one possibility. If you have a team of 3 to 4 people, you will be having 3 to 4 different ideas and you can improve the product better.
एक्चुअली जब एक टीम होती है ना, तो हर किसी के डिफरेंट थॉट प्रोसेस होते हैं, एक दूसरे की चीज को एज ए क्रिटिक भी देखते हैं वो चीजें। उससे क्या होता है कि जो ना प्रोडक्ट में इम्प्रूवमेंट ही आती है।
वहाँ पे क्या हुआ, द स्टार्टअप एक्सपीरियंस, so basically thought was something crucial about the businesses.
Okay.
It's not always about having the biggest resources, it's also about understanding your market.
मैं ये कह सकता हूँ कि उस जर्नी में आपको बहुत सारी लर्निंग्स मिली बिकॉज देयर वर लॉट ऑफ चैलेंजेस इन्वॉल्व, और आई वुड से कुछ ऐसे इवेंट्स रहे होंगे जिससे आपको कुछ सीखने को मिला। क्या थे वो?
Working with Goldman was highly rewarding. जहाँ पे we were building a product, it's in the equity, it's related to the equity trading. I was also a part of the work team. I used to take care of the production service. We used to set up IPO launches from the back end every day. So I used to work for a particular region. Our product was mainly used for the equity trading. It was related to low latency. Low latency is nothing but let us take an example of stock trading. Whenever a user places a buy order, it will go to the stock exchange, it will execute and come back to you within milliseconds, right?
Okay.
So that's where the low latency products come in.
डिले नहीं चाहिए कहीं का भी।
$1 million transactions happening every single minute. You can't keep your product as fast even for a second. So it should be highly scalable, highly reliable, and it should be low latency. And coming to the experience of Goldman, what really stood at Goldman was their attention to detail and the emphasis to the precision. So every analysis, every report, it should be like a bulletproof.
अगर मैं गोल्डमैन में काम करते करते स्किल्स की बात करूं, क्या वो स्किल्स थी जो आपको लगता है आपके पास पहले नहीं थी, बट गोल्डमैन के साथ काम करके आपने वो स्किल्स एक्वायर करी एंड वो स्किल्स ने आपको आपके करियर में आपको हेल्प किया?
Coming to the things learned while working in the Goldman, their culture is totally unique. It's like being in the Olympics of finance. Everyone around you is exceptionally sharp.
Okay.
And you are expected to bring your A game every single day. Basically, what I found particularly the structured approach to solve a problem. So they taught me how to break down the complex problem and do it in manageable pieces.
ठीक है, आपने गोल्डमैन में काम किया, बट ये प्रोफेशनली इसने आपको कैसे शेप अप किया?
The main thing was the communication, like how you communicate the problem to others so that they can think of the same context, like what you're thinking. वहाँ पे everyone was very disciplined, everyone was thinking in a very different way. For a single problem, everyone will think in a different solution. Like you need to understand how they are thinking and what can be improved so that you can get to the solution. So let us take an example of team of 4 people, and if you're working on a particular problem, everyone will have their own different strategy to solve it. But what makes the solution better is how you are trying to solve and what kind of improvement you are integrating in it so that it will be useful for the customers and the company. So the problem approach कैसे कर रहे हैं, I was looking at this particular thing, how they are thinking of the problem and how they are trying to solve it.
वर्क प्रेशर कैसा था गोल्डमैन में? या फिर जो वो वर्क प्रेशर था वो आप वर्क प्रेशर नहीं कह सकते, वो एक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी जो आपने मतलब डे इन डे आउट निभाई, एंड यू वर एंजॉयिंग दैट वर्क प्रेशर आई वुड से, बट स्टिल वांट टू हियर फ्रॉम यू.
Yes, so I was working in the production environment, so always the pressure will be high in production environment. We should be available all the time to solve any problem in that particular time slot. वहाँ पे we used to get some issues and get at random point of time and we should react immediately. We should not take more than like X amount of time to solve that particular problem. We should be very fast and debug it clearly and root cause, solve it, fix it and deploy to the production again. Like it was so stressful. It will be always stressful if you are working in the production.
got it. थोड़ी सी भी अगर गलती हुई तो जो ना लोगों के $1 million इधर उधर हो जाएंगे. ओके, गोल्डमैन एंड ईवाई. सो अगर मैं आपसे कहूं कि आपको दोनों को कंपेयर करना हो, ईवाई का कल्चर, गोल्डमैन का कल्चर एंड देयर वर्क एनवायरनमेंट एंड द वर्क प्रेशर, कैसे आपको एक्सप्लेन करेंगे थोड़ा?
I'm lucky enough to experience both the companies. So Goldman is like a product group and EY is like consultant.
Right.
So there I was working on our own product in Goldman, but here we will be working for the client.
Mm-hmm.
So we should make sure everything is delivered correctly to the client.
नहीं तो क्लाइंट सर पे चढ़ जाएगा.
Yeah. EY culture, like we will be working with the client, get their deliverables on time, and we will be in client place solving their problem. It's like we need to build the strategy, so we talk on the technicalities thing. We need to do both the business and the technicalities.
बेसिकली मेरे को क्या लगता है कि गोल्डमैन में यू वर वर्किंग प्रोडक्शन साइड में, तो वहां पे प्रेशर एक अलग काइंड का था. बट अगर मैं बात करूं ईवाई की, क्योंकि क्लाइंट बेस्ड प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं, तो प्रेशर अपनी टीम बेसिकली सीनियर से तो है ही है, क्लाइंट का भी प्रेशर एक अलग है. अब कमिंग बैक टू ईवाई एंड गोल्डमैन के बीच में, जहां तक मेरे को इन्फॉर्मेशन है, यू वर्क फॉर स्टैनफोर्ड. कितना चैलेंजिंग था उस टीम के साथ काम करना?
The problem was very challenging because we used to get some millions of data every day, millions and millions of data. We had almost 10 to 15 different sources of data. Every single source will send you the data in different format. So you should build a pipeline where it will unify everything and put everything in a single place. So let us take an example. The customer X, data source X is sending you the data with the product name, product URL, product color, price and all this stuff. So they might be sending you in an Excel format, and there is data source Y, they will be sending you in JSON format. Data source Z, they will be sending you data with text file. And everyone will not be sending all the details. So imagine 15 different sources in different data formats, and you need to unify them. So it was the most challenging. The first thing was the data cleaning part, because to build an AI product, the first thing comes with the data. So that was the most challenging part, to unify it.
But rewarding भी तो बहुत रहा था, बहुत high processing GPUs थे.
We spent a lot on infrastructure. Like I never imagined like I will using those engines to build a product at that particular point of time. I thought it will take some more time to use those engines and build products like that. but I was very lucky to had an opportunity working with them. It was like learning every single minute while working with them.
मेरा आपसे एक सवाल है. सपोज करो आई वांट टू लर्न समथिंग, मैं कुछ चीज नए सीखना चाहता हूँ, मे बी रिलेटेड टू AI ML, या फिर मे बी मैं प्रोडक्ट बिल्ड कर रहा हूँ, या फिर कुछ भी XYZ, नॉट रिलेटेड कोई टेक्नोलॉजी है, या फिर कुछ XYZ है, कुछ भी मैं अगर उसको लर्न कर रहा हूँ, तो क्या स्ट्रेटेजी है कि मैं क्या स्ट्रेटेजी यूज करूँ कि मैं उस चीज को एफिशिएंटली लर्न करूँ?
This is very interesting question actually. So, मेरा first company में in the initial days, my boss suggested me a strategy, a technique where you can learn things easily. So basically हमने जब join किए थे हम freshers थे, so he suggested one strategy where you need to apply WH questions on every single concept you learn. WH is nothing but what, where, when, why, how. Like you need to apply all these questions on a topic. So let us take an example. If you are trying to learn about AI, what is AI? Why AI is used? Where AI is used? How AI is used? You can apply WH questions on a particular concept, then you can understand about that particular topic in and around. And it will be easily remembered so that you don't need to come back and see what is this particular thing. This technique will help everyone to learn things easily and in a better way.
ठीक है. अब इस पॉडकास्ट में जो एक इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक आता है जिसपे हम मे बी लेट्स सी कितना लंबा बात कर सकते हैं, LLMs, Gen AI. तो अब हम उस पर बात करते हैं. एंड कंसीडर करो कि भाई मेरे को LLM के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता, मेरे ऑडियंस को LLM Gen AI के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता, तो हम उधर की तरफ उस पर्सपेक्टिव से इस चीज को आगे लेके जाएंगे. LLM है क्या? ये LLM अगर आपको किसी को समझाना हो, कैसे समझाएंगे LLM को?
Before getting to know about LLM is nothing but large language model. Okay. You need to know about generative AI. So Gen AI is like giving machines a voice. But what they say and how we listen will shape our future. It's nothing but like a human kind of mindset we are trying to build with the data and with the context we are giving and how we are going to train it and what responses we will be getting from that particular model.
Okay.
Earlier it was like NLP, natural language processing, where you have to tell machines like how to respond. The systems will understand only zeros and ones, but if you want to interact with the systems in human-like language, that's where NLP comes in. On the top of NLP, we have deep learning. The advancement of deep learning, that's where the large language models is.
Okay.
The large language models are like they're trained on vast amount of data.
Is it a text data, visual data? किस टाइप का data?
It's trained on all kind of data like images, text, videos, audio, every single form. Okay. So these days we have models for every single format and it's evolving very rapidly day by day. Let us take an example. If you have a version 1 for the 1st of October and if you are trying to adapt to that particular model, in next 15 to 20 days you are trying to know about the model, how it will work, how it will respond, you will be having the version 2. You are not having enough time to learn the version 1 clearly. Like the evolution is so fast these days in last 3-4 years, it's not giving us enough time to know completely about a version, about a model and how it will work, how it will respond, and there is an advanced version of the particular model. If you are looking at the second version, the third version is coming out. In this rapid evolvement, we should be up to date with all the new and the latest tools and technologies to keep us in the market, to make your product better in the coming days.
Basically, LLMs work कैसे करते हैं? जो LLMs बना रहा है, मॉडल्स बना रहा है, LLM मॉडल्स ट्रेन कैसे करते हैं मॉडल को?
LLMs, maybe we will be having the layer, same like the deep learning model, we will be having the input layer, hidden layers.
इसमें मैं एक रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा आपसे व्हेन एक्सप्लेनिंग कि कैसे LLMs मॉडल्स को बिल्ड किया जाता है, अगर आप कोई एक एग्जांपल लेके समझाएं, so that will be good for us.
Okay, so let us try to build a small model. I will give a high level context how to build it. we know how to teach children a language, right? So we start with the basic words, then sentences, and we gradually learn context and meaning. Building an LLM also follows a similar path,
Okay.
but at a massive scale. So first, imagine feeding the model a very vast amount of data. We were like talking in billions of documents, books, websites, and conversations and all. It's like giving a library that has thousands of times bigger than everything you have ever heard. So the most interesting part here is the model doesn't just memorize the text, it learns the patterns. Okay. So let us say, think of like this, the cat sat on the, you would probably think it's a mat or a chair.
Okay.
Because you have seen these patterns before. LLMs also do this at scale. They will look at some billions of such patterns in every single time.
Okay.
The real magic happens where in the training phase itself. Like it all depends on like what data you are giving it to the model, and model uses something called transformative architecture. You will be having the input layer, hidden layer, output layer, and there is like it's like having millions of pattern detectors all working together. It recognizes the patterns between the words, and then it will try to understand the concept.
ये जो हमारे ट्रेडिशनल एआई मॉडल्स हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल आपने अभी एनएलपी की भी बात करी थी, तो ये जो एलएलएम्स हैं बहुत लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा पे इनको ट्रेन करा गया है, बट अगर मैं समझना चाहूँ, आपसे जानना चाहूँ कि कैसे डिफरेंट है इनसे।
एनएलपी टेक्निक अपन एक पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए वी विल बी बिल्डिंग द पर्टिकुलर इफ देयर इज अ कन्वर्सेशन हैपनिंग एंड यू हैव a PDF of the text. Okay, and let us take an example. You have a company, the product has some thousands of reviews, and you want to know like what customers are thinking about your product.
Positive feedback.
Yeah, you can use NLP technique to know like what kind of words are being repetitive. Is people talking positive about your product or negative? If it is positive, what are they talking? If it is negative, what are they saying? Like you can understand about vast amount of data using this technique. You can analyze the text.
Okay.
You can know the sentiment. You can know the words and all what they are using.
Okay.
That's where the NLP comes in. We have a large amount of text coming in every single day. Right? To cope up with that, we will be improving our model. So that's where the deep learning model came. That's where the large language model came. So these large language models are trained on vast amount of data. From last 10 months, we have a new trend of tiny LLMs. Tiny LLMs are built for solving a particular problem. So let us take you are working in a healthcare industry. So this particular LLM will be trained on only healthcare data. So it will help doctors and patients to help diagnose. It will help them in diagnosing the particular disease. So there are so many use cases. Every industry has their different use case. We can build tiny LLMs for each and every domain, which will help you to solve the problem. So the interesting part is everyone is saying, will the humans be replaced by the AI? They are getting more powerful. It's not replacing those analysts. It is making them more powerful.
अभी रिसेंटली मैं एक वीडियो देख रहा था एलएलएम्स पे ही, यान लीकन और उसकी टीम, दे वर वर्किंग ऑन जॉइंट एम्बेडिंग सिस्टम्स, बेसिकली जैपा, दे कॉल देम जैपा, कि ये जो ऑटो रिग्रेसिव एलएलएम्स हैं, GPT-4 हो गया, लामा हो गया, हाउ डू यू थिंक कि ये जो ऑटो रिग्रेसिव एलएलएम्स होते हैं ये कैसे काम करते हैं, एंड व्हाई ये ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस को रिप्लेस नहीं कर पाएंगे? क्योंकि टुडे आई गेस a lot of people are using LLMs, and going forward मुझे लगता है कि इनका यूजेज इंडस्ट्री में भी धीरे-धीरे, डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री में भी धीरे-धीरे इंक्रीज ही होगा.
You know what funny about AI? For all its brilliance, it still can't tell you certainly whether a hot dog is a sandwich. They are just like the pattern matching machine, not philosophers.
Okay, so अगर हमको इनको इम्प्रूव करना हो, और आई वुड से जो AI hallucination है और रॉन्ग प्रेडिक्शन हो गई या फिर रॉन्ग रिस्पॉन्स हो गया, इसको अगर हमको नलीफाई करना है या फिर मिनिमाइज करना है, किस तरीके से हम कर सकते हैं?
Here comes the big challenge. Every company is trying to build AI products based out of LLM, but they are still in POC stages. They were not able to deploy it into the production because of the responses the AI is generating, and the company needs to be responsible for that output. Like whatever the AI is generating. These days, a lot of research is going on, like how to evaluate and how to make your AI strong enough to respond in a correct way. So a lot of ethics are coming to the place. A lot of responsible AI things are coming to the place. Every company is having a board to apply all these ethics and responsible AI in their AI product. Every country needs to bring a standard board where they can follow the ethics and responsibility as well while building the AI products. Like many governments are doing that, but it's still in the initial stages. It will help a lot to minimize the risk, okay, and increase the productivity and give a lot of information in a correct way.
Actually, हमने जो लास्ट पॉडकास्ट किया था प्रांजल श्रीवास्तव के साथ, who is working with Adobe, हमने उनसे डेटा के बारे में पूछा था एंड ही सेज कि डेटा पहले भी कलेक्ट होता था, डेटा आज भी कलेक्ट होता है, बट जो पेस है, जो स्पीड है डेटा कलेक्शन की, वो चेंज हो गई. ऑलमोस्ट ऑल द कंपनीज आर कलेक्टिंग डेटा एंड वो कुछ सेंसिटिव डेटा भी होता है जो कलेक्ट करते हैं. तो एंड बिकॉज मैं इस चीज को इसलिए ला रहा हूँ क्योंकि आपने बोला कि दैट कंपनी शुड बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल टू यूज डेटा एथिकली. तो मेरे को आपसे इसी बारे में जानना है कि जब एथिकल यूज की बात आती है डेटा की, तो कंपनी कैसे इंश्योर करे कि वो नंबर वन डेटा को एथिकली यूज कर रही हैं, एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट उस डेटा से जब वो LLM मॉडल्स बना रहे हैं तो उस LLM मॉडल को भी रेस्पॉन्सिबली यूज करें.
So basically, we need to define a set of standards while training the model, like what data we are providing it to the model, like how we are training, and what context we are providing it to the model. We should make sure we are not providing any wrong data to the model.
Wrong
okay? And there are wrong data in the sense there will be sensitive data, some misconceptional data, and so basically LLM's output will depend on the data which you are providing in the training phase. It's not like it will hallucinate a little, but it will more be dependent on the data which you have provided while training the model. We should train the model in a very responsible way, like we should set up set of standard ethics while building an AI product, and we should strictly follow that, and you are responsible for your AI responses.
Exactly. अगर हम LLMs की यूज की बात करें आजकल, बिकॉज वी नो अ लॉट ऑफ चैटबॉट्स में आजकल LLMs यूज होता है, ठीक है, एंड और भी जगह यूज होता है. सो मेरे को जो आपसे जानना है कि कौन कौन से बिजनेसेस हैं आज के टाइम पे जो LLMs को यूज करना उन्होंने शुरू किया है. ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत तो ऑलमोस्ट सभी कर रहे हैं, बट who are majorly using LLMs these days, and कौन कौन सी इंडस्ट्रीज हैं जो आज के टाइम पे सच में LLMs से फायदा उठा रही हैं. बेसिकली LLMs को यूज करके मे बी व्हाट वी कैन से कि अपना रेवेन्यू जनरेशन उनका ज्यादा हो रहा है, मे बी आपका यूजर रिटेंशन ज्यादा हो रही है, थिंग्स लाइक दिस.
आजकल सारे इंडस्ट्रीज ट्राइंग टू इम्प्लीमेंट AI in their products. Like if you go to finance, they are building AI for finance. If you go to marketing, digital media, digital marketing, everyone is trying to generate the video, audio, like the images, text using the data, using the AI model. There are so many use cases in every single industry where AI is helping companies to get faster responses to solve some complex problems really quick.
एक प्रोजेक्ट था जिसमें I was working on creating, जो हमने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बात करी, टाइनी LLMs. तो उसमें क्या था कि हेल्थ केयर के लिए हम LLMs बना रहे थे, जिसमें we had to do llama यूज करके obviously what we had to do कि एक not the patient but मैं हूँ, मेरे को कुछ सिम्टम्स, हेडेक हो रहा है, मेरे को नोजिया है, मेरे को स्नीजिंग हो रही है, तो मैं आऊँगा, मैं अपने सिम्टम्स दूंगा, बेस्ड ऑन दैट सिस्टम मेरे को मेरा जो भी LLM है वो बताएगा कि भाई आप यू माइट बी सफरिंग फ्रॉम so and so diseases, and डिपेंडिंग ऑन द डिजीज और मेरे से कुछ और रिस्पॉन्स लेके द एलएलएम्स विल ओनली सजेस्ट मी कि भाई ये या वेदर आपके पास डॉक्टर को जाना चाहिए या नहीं चाहिए. तो मेरा जो सवाल है इसमें, हेल्थ केयर में एलएलएम्स, डू यू थिंक कि अभी जल्दी में ये सक्सेसफुल हो सकता है? क्योंकि क्योंकि हेल्थ इज समथिंग की जो अगर एलएलएम्स ने गलत रिस्पॉन्स दे दिया तो कुछ का कुछ हो सकता है. सो हेल्थ केयर में एलएलएम्स पे आपका क्या मतलब पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है?
So healthcare में LLMs, like many hospitals and doctors are trying to use the LLM, where so many big companies are investing in AI in healthcare to build a product and give it to the hospital and the doctors so that they can try it on the customers, the patients, and see what results it's giving. So अभी तो research and implementation phase चल रहा है. There is no particular thing in the cancer research where this product is 100% confident that this will give 100% result. Like ये सही बोल रहा है. Still a lot of research is going on in that particular phase. Obviously, we will get much better models in the coming days, and we need to keep on improving like उसको complexity को handle करके and accuracy को बढ़ाने के लिए everyone is trying to do that. In future, we will be seeing better and better AI models in the healthcare, which will help doctors and hospitals to know about the patients real quick and to understand about the disease and to try to help them what can be done in very smooth and fast way.
बेसिकली टाइम लगेगा अभी हेल्थ केयर बेसिकली
टाइम लगेगा
हेल्थ केयर में आने के लिए. ओके, बट स्टिल मतलब अगर
रिसर्च और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन स्टेज में चल रहा है, बट इट विल टेक सम टाइम इम्प्रूव द एक्यूरेसी.
सपोज करो आप लीड कर रहे होते टू बिल्ड एन एलएलएम फॉर हेल्थ केयर, उसको फास्टर पेस पे मूव कराने के लिए क्या स्टेप्स लेते हैं आप?
हेल्थ इज वेयर वी शुडंट कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन इट.
बिल्कुल.
बेसिकली यहाँ पे वी शुड बी मोर केयरफुल building the model. So let us take an example. Abhi, you are building a model and you are providing the data. If you go to a doctor and ask him, can you provide sample of data, like ये patient को ये disease है, and what medication you did, is he recovered or not, how much time it took, and all those details. No one will provide. In the research, you need to collect some sensitive information and you should validate that the information you got is correct or wrong.
सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन से आपका यहाँ पे इस पर्टिकुलर डोमेन में सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन से आपका क्या मतलब?
बेसिकली अभी एक पेशेंट को कैंसर है, देखिए डॉक्टर डिक्लेयर किया, सो यू माइट गो टू अनदर डॉक्टर फॉर द सेकंड ओपिनियन एंड दैट डॉक्टर से दिस इज नॉट a tumor, this is just a lipoma and you don't need to worry about it. Whom will you trust now? Which is a worried situation, right? So again, you will go to another doctor and see what he tells. Then you will decide you need to get it operated or not. Here in AI also for the healthcare, it's not able to take the correct decision. Always human intervention is needed in the healthcare. You can't just rely on AI models at this particular phase to judge it like this person has so and so disease and this person doesn't. And you should take these medications for this particular diagnosis and all. So always a human intervention is required in the healthcare at this point of time. But let's see, in the future we might get better models which will help to take better judgment.
So अगर हम आगे 2-3 साल की बात करें, मे बी नेक्स्ट 2-3 years, फ्यूचर में भी 5-10 years की बात अभी नहीं करते हैं, नेक्स्ट 2-3 years की बात करते हैं. व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि कौन कौन सी वो इंडस्ट्रीज होंगे, कौन कौन से वो सेक्टर्स होंगे जहां पे जनरेटिव एआई के थ्रू भूचाल आने वाला है, मतलब एक अच्छा खासा डिसरप्शन देख सकते हैं उन्हें उस इंडस्ट्री और सेक्टर में?
अभी के लिए तो बहुत सारे इंडस्ट्रीज है where we are seeing a rapid development in the AI. So we can't mention this segment has this much improvement compared to the another, but there is so much in content generation these days. Like in last 1.5 year, 2 years, people are able to generate a lot of text. People are able to generate a lot of images, videos, and these days the people are making movies using the AI. They don't need any actors, directors, producers. They just need a system with high configuration and they can use tools and techniques to build a movie. So it's not like we can't say this industry is growing 5 times or 10 times faster compared to the another industry. Every industry is evolving in the same pace. In the next 5 to 10 years, what we can see is like obviously we will be getting the better models compared to what we have now, and we can see rapid development in the tiny LLM, which will be domain specific, where we can use that particular domain knowledge and train it on that particular LLM and deploy it into production. These days we have cameras and everything which have AI integrated. We can implement those tiny LLMs in mobile phones, in cameras and any other product where it will help you to make it faster and take easy decisions and try to suggest something while you're working on something.
एक्चुअली मैंने ना देखा है कि आजकल हमारे इंस्टाग्राम पे कुछ एआई इन्फ्लुएंसर्स भी हैं, एंड जो आपने बात करी कि अ लॉट ऑफ मूवीज आर बीइंग बिल्ट यूजिंग एआई, बेसिकली कंटेंट क्रिएशन की बात करें हम तो आई हैव सीन दैट कि भाई एआई इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैं एंड फॉलोवर्स भी उनके अच्छे खासे हैं. आई डोंट नो कहाँ से लाते हैं इतने फॉलोवर्स, कैसे लाते हैं, बट हाँ आई कंप्लीटली एग्री. आई गेस कंटेंट इंडस्ट्री इज समथिंग जो अभी भी अच्छा खासा डिसरप्शन देख चुकी है थ्रू दिस, एंड ईयर्स टू कम में वो और भी अच्छा खासा डिसरप्शन देख सकती है. सो वी बोथ नो एंड आई गेस सबको पता है कि जो ये हमारे LLMs हैं बहुत पावरफुल है, एंड अगर इसका यूज ठीक से ना करा जाए तो थोड़ा गलत चीजें भी हो सकती हैं. वी टॉक्ड अबाउट डेटा प्रिवेसी, सेंसिटिविटी एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. बट अगर हम बात करें इनकी लिमिटेशंस की, सो इसकी क्या लिमिटेशंस हैं? सो एक तो वो जानना है आपसे, एंड दूसरा क्या चीजें हैं जिससे दे आर स्ट्रगलिंग विद दैट वी शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ.
ओके, अभी AI में बहुत सारी लिमिटेशंस है. द फर्स्ट थिंग कम्स टू द प्लेस इन AI is the computational power which needs to be taken care. So you need to spend a lot on your infrastructure to maintain, to deliver as per the requirement, and you need to scale that as well, right? If the number of customers using that particular AI increases, like you need to scale that product also. That's where budget थोड़ा ज़्यादा होगा. So you should be aware like how much you need to spend on that particular thing to build this particular AI. Whenever you are asking something you require, you need to provide the context, like what you are expecting from that particular AI. Now AI is taking your context and it will trying to respond. Evaluating that particular response is a major challenge everyone is facing. So there are so many metrics which will evaluate the LLM response, but there is no standard like this is 100% right kind of a thing. In traditional ML models, we had so many metrics and all where it will go and it will tell you this model is this much accurate, and we had n number of metrics which we keep on analyzing every now and then, and we can keep on improving the model. But here, like whatever the AI is generating, the companies are not taking responsibility for what AI is generating. I have read a lot of papers on evaluation of the LLM. So there are so many strategies are coming in, but there is no solid metric which will evaluate your LLM at this particular point of time. Hopefully, we will be getting better metrics soon, and our models keep on increasing and perform better in coming days.
What do you think कि जो सबसे biggest hurdle है business के लिए adopting LLMs क्या है? And वो जो hurdle है, वो जो भी whatever the challenges they are facing, उसको वो कैसे overcome कर सकते हैं?
Basically, the biggest hurdle the companies are facing is configuration. Like whatever the AI is generating, company is not taking the responsibility, because whatever the LLM we are using. Let us take an example of OpenAI. If you are using an OpenAI model, OpenAI use some vast amount of data to train the particular model, but it doesn't know about your company, like what kind of data you have. You can still use that particular model and improve it, but still it has something called hallucination, which hallucinates and try to respond, add something to the output and provide it to the user. So to build an LLM from the scratch of your own, it will take a lot of computational power, a lot of resources, a lot of data. Not all the companies can afford it.
कौन-कौन से ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म है अभी अगर कोई अपना इंडिपेंडेंट मॉडल बनाना चाहता है?
अभी तो ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म जैसे Hugging Face है, Meta का है, Install है, there are n number of platforms. You don't need to pay for it to use it. You can just plug into the particular model and you can use that in your product. But while you integrate the particular model to your product, you will be responsible for the output of the.
बट आपको लगता है कि जो ना अगर हमको अपना मॉडल बिल्ड करना है तो वी शुड यूज इन ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म्स, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं हम जब डेटा को यूज करेंगे अपने को तो ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म है तो ये डेटा जो भी ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म होगा उसके पास भी जाएगा.
So basically, there are multiple things. You can use that model in your in-house server. Okay, you can train on it.
Okay.
And the open source companies will not know about your data.
Achha.
Because you are doing it in server. Like you can use any cloud computing technologies also. You can run on them. Those companies will not get to know. But still, you don't know like what exactly the training data was used for the particular. You will get a high-level context on which type of data they were trained on, but you don't know what data that was trained on.
ठीक. तो अगर सपोज करो ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म को यूज करके मैं एक मॉडल बिल्ड करना चाह रहा हूँ जहां पे मैं सपोज करो मेरे पास कोई एक पॉलिसी रिपोर्ट है विच इज ऑफ बेसिकली 100, 200, 300 पेजेस की है. उस मॉडल को उस पीडीएफ पे ट्रेन करके अगर मैं कुछ उस मॉडल से पूछना चाहता हूँ एंड वो मेरे को रेस्पॉन्ड करे, आई नो इट्स अ पॉसिबिलिटी, बट आपसे जानना चाहता हूँ, इज इट पॉसिबल?
We can build a product for the particular requirement. So basically, आपके पास PDF है. You can use an LLM to train that particular model using your PDF, and you can ask any question regarding this PDF to that model. It will go with answer from you from that particular model, like the particular document.
रिसेंटली मैं मार्क जुकरबर्ग की एक वीडियो देख रहा था जिसमें मार्क जुकरबर्ग बोल रहे अबाउट 350,000 एनवीडिया H100 GPUs उनके जो मेटा ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म है उसमें. एंड मतलब थोड़ी रिसर्च करके थोड़ा मैथ्स करके समझ में आया है कि अगर उसकी कॉस्ट की बात करूं दैट विल बी अराउंड hundreds of billions of dollars. सो ये जो ओपन सोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म्स होते हैं बेसिकली आप पैसा कैसे बनाते हैं?
यहाँ पे Meta is trying to be one of the strongest in the AI race. So they are trying to invest a lot in the AI by building more number of open source models, and they have in-house models as well. They try to train all these models on these GPUs. So basically, they are trying to build tiny LLMs, large language models, domain specifically to do it for every industry. They need a lot of computational power. It's not like you need to pay every time. It's like a one-time investment where they can bring a lot of GPUs at one place and they can keep on using it one after the other. So basically, if you train your model on particular GPU for 1 month, after 1 month once the model is trained, you can use the same computational power by building a different model. Like it's not like pay as you go. Like they are making it in-house and they can use it for the lifelong. They can keep on building the models. They can keep on improving the models for the better accuracy. So they are trying to build models for all the domains. Like it's not like this model will work for all. They are trying to make it easy for all the domains, all the industries to use their model and build products on top of it.
But how do they earn money ना मतलब इस पे क्या वो प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे मतलब they run ads या फिर अभी फ्रीमियम वाला है कि मतलब कुछ फीचर्स हैं जो आप फ्री एज ए फ्री ट्रायल यूज कर सकते हैं, बट अगर आपको एडवांस फीचर्स चाहिए देन यू हैव टू शिफ्ट टू प्रीमियम वाला चीज, ऐसा है क्या कुछ?
अभी तो वैसा कुछ नहीं है. ओनली OpenAI is charging for all the premium kind of thing. So you need to pay as you go. So how much of computational power you are using, you need to pay for that in the So coming to the open source models, they don't charge. They will get funding from the companies. Let us take example if X company is using, like if they want to improve a particular kind of a thing, they will fund it. There are so many different sources where they can fund it, but they won't target for the users because the user is using that particular model.
चाहे मैं कितने भी टोकन्स यूज करूं, they won't target.
Yeah, there will be a limitation on the token size. Because let us take an example, if you are using a Llama model, it will have limitations of the token. You can't provide some millions of tokens at a single time. You can't provide 2,000 tokens at a time. It depends on the model complexity and the size of the model. The number of tokens is use the bigger models, you need to pay, but not all the bigger models are available to the public for use. And every company is trying to build a very large model. Like I came to know, like some of the big giants are trying to build some LLMs which are massive. Like you can input millions of tokens in a single post. Like you can upload thousands of PDFs in a single post, and you can train your model. Like these things we have limitations, right? Like 1 year ago, like you can upload 1 or 2 PDFs of 5 to 10 pages, and there was a limitation. But coming days, you will be seeing a lot of improvements in the model. They can accept some thousands of tokens in a single post, and that's happening very soon.
अगर AI टेक्नोलॉजीज को फ्यूचर में कंटिन्यू जिस तरीके से इवॉल्व होती आई है पास्ट में एंड उसको कंटिन्यू करना है उसी तरह से इवॉल्व होने और एट ए फास्टर पेस, तो क्या क्या वो स्किल्स हैं जो फ्यूचर वर्क फोर्स के लिए बहुत ज्यादा क्रूशियल हैं और उनको उन स्किल्स पे ध्यान रखना चाहिए?
Everyone should be aware of the basics first. Everyone should get their basics right, and once their basics is set, then you can keep going deeper and deeper in that particular domain, the programming language which you are using. These days, if you give a documentation of an AI product to some expert on it, you can look at the documentation and you can able to integrate it. But the person who knows technology can implement that at a faster pace.
Okay.
Who knows the basics right, they can implement that in a faster pace.
But basics में वो क्या क्या requirements हैं?
इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें आती हैं. The first thing which you need to consider is the business requirement.
Okay.
Basically, if you are trying to solve a problem, then you should understand the business course of the particular problem. What all things are included in that. To solve the problem, if technology is good enough to solve it, or do we have any different solutions to solve that, we need to think of. If we can solve that using the tech, then in technology, we will be having a lot of things. So you can simplify the things by building an app and integrating them, giving it to the user so that you can do it in an easy way so that the problem can be solved. So to build a product, again, you need to learn the programming languages. You need to understand how they work and how they can be implemented and how can they can be deployed, how can they can be scaled. So there is a lot of things which involves in the technology. There are so many different programming languages. You can select one out of them and you can learn about the particular technology and you can build products using that particular technology.
सपोज करो हमको फ्यूचर में कोई सुपर ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस मॉडल बनाना है. हाउ कैन वी अचीव दैट? क्या चीजें हैं जो ध्यान में रखनी है, क्या चीजें हैं जो इम्प्लीमेंट करनी है?
सुपर कंप्यूटर्स ऑन द वे, क्या चीजें ध्यान में रखनी है? as we discussed earlier also, like what kind of data we are providing in the training phase is the most important thing, and evaluating of the LLM is the second most important thing, and the major thing is the computational power. So not everyone can make super computers, super intelligent things. So it requires a lot of computational power, a lot of resources, a lot of data, which needs to be considered before building such products.
अगर हम फ्यूचर ऑफ LLMs की बात करें, मे बी 5 or 10 years डाउन द लाइन, क्या है फ्यूचर LLMs का?
So coming to the future, as we discussed, every domain will have a different LLM, tiny LLM. Yeah, domain specific only, and there will be large LLMs which can be used for the general purposes, and we will be having tiny LLMs for domain specific things. And the accuracy of these models will keep on increasing in the coming days, and the responsibility in AI will be increasing, and majorly it will give almost the correct responses and every time in the future.
So we talked about limitations, we talked about use cases, we talked about कि LLMs को कैसे मतलब कौन-कौन सी इंडस्ट्रीज में डिसरप्शन आ सकता है. So to close with, मेरे को जानना है कि that you keep yourself updated with latest LLM का ट्रेंड क्या है, latest Gen AI में AI के ट्रेंड्स क्या हैं, ML के ट्रेंड्स क्या हैं. तो क्या वो क्रिएटिव एंड सरप्राइजिंग यूज केसेस हैं जहां पे या तो आपने काम करा है या फिर यू कम अप विद कि आपने पढ़ा है कि LLMs में ये चीजें भी आ गई हैं?
यहाँ पे बहुत सारे यूज केसेस है. These days people are using in very creative and surprising way to generate the content to make money out of it.
बिल्कुल.
So one of the surprising things which we discussed earlier, they are creating videos using the AI and they are putting it on Instagram, generating the engagement, bringing it on the followers, AI influencers. There is no such person exists, but still people are looking at that particular content, still they are following that content, and the owner is getting revenue out of it.
बहुत मजा आया सुमित आपसे बात करते हुए एंड आई एम श्योर जो ऑडियंस होगा, जो भी हमारे व्यूअर्स होंगे, जिनको एलएलएम्स के बारे में नहीं भी पता होगा, थोड़ा बहुत उनको अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी एलएलएम्स कैसे काम करते हैं, कैसे एलएलएम्स के मॉडल बनाए जाते हैं. बेस्ट ऑफ लक फॉर योर फ्यूचर.
थैंक यू ललित फॉर होस्टिंग मी. Like आप जो क्वेश्चंस पूछे, like it helped me bring out the different aspects of my journey. So I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation and hoping to all the listeners, thank you for tuning in.